inshallah 5:40 tomorrow. It's okay. It's not my it's my job. All right, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillah wa ba'd. Hadith number 126 in Sahih al-Bukhari. So Abdullah ibn Zubair, عائشة تسر إليك كثيرا فما حدثتك في الكعبة. So somebody came to Abdullah ibn Zubair and asked him, he said that Aisha, wife of the Prophet, peace be upon him, she used to tell you a lot of private information about the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They were related. So he says, did Aisha tell you anything about the Kaaba? And he said, قلت, he said, قالت لي, she said to me one day, قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. So she said that the messenger said to her, Ya Aisha. So the Prophet said to Aisha, لولا قومك حديث عهدهم. He said, Aisha, if your people, meaning his own people, the people of Mecca, the people of Medina, he said, if your people were not new, meaning they were not new into Islam and they had not just come out of disbelief and just become Muslims recently, لَنَقَضْتُ الْكَعْبَةَ فَجَعَلْتُ لَهَا بَابَيْنِ بَابٌ يَدْخُلُ النَّاسُ وَبَابٌ يَخْرُجُونَ. He said, I would have remodeled the Kaaba, and I would have made in that remodeling one door for people to enter and another door for people to exit. And in another hadith, there's a few more details about what would happen with the Kaaba. فَفَعَلَهُ ibn Zubair. So Abdullah ibn Zubair, he actually remodeled the Kaaba at this time. This is after the Prophet ﷺ, and then one of the Khalifas remodeled it back to what it was. So it's important to understand this. The Prophet, peace be upon him, went and told Aisha this about what he wanted to do, but he didn't do it. Why didn't he remodel the Kaaba? He said, because your people are still new to Islam. They just came out of disbelief. And he says, this is what I would have wanted to do, but what stopped me from doing it is because they wouldn't understand it. They would be so bothered by it. It wouldn't make sense to them, so he stopped. So Imam al-Bukhari puts this hadith in a chapter called باب من ترك بعض الاختيار مخافة أن يقصر فهم بعض الناس عنه فيقع في أشد منه. So he calls this the chapter of somebody who left something that was optional out of fear that people would have a problem and they would end up in a more difficult problem they were in before. So basically, to summarize this, a little bit complicated, the Prophet ﷺ said, I wanted to remodel the Kaaba, and that would require a remodeling. Sometimes it requires breaking down some parts of it and then rebuilding it. I would have remodeled and broke down part of the Kaaba and rebuilt it again, but I didn't do it because a lot of people are new to Islam and they wouldn't understand it, and they wouldn't be able to comprehend it. So he left it because it was not an absolute requirement. Now we learn from this that sometimes if you want to do something, you say, you know what, this is a good thing to do, or I want to say such and such thing, you're having a conversation with someone, but you know that their understanding of Islam, their mind is not going to be able to comprehend it, you shouldn't do it. And sometimes when we talk to people about Islam, sometimes we want to say everything in one conversation. It's not the way it is. We should be careful. We should think about who we're talking to, especially if someone is brand new to Islam, or somebody doesn't know Islam, or someone doesn't have a very strong foundation. You don't tell them every single thing not because there's anything wrong with our religion. It's because their mind may not grasp it and they're not at a stage to be able to understand that. So that's why we should be cautious and we should use wisdom. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us that wisdom. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us to understand when to do things and when not to do things. Ameen wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Assalamu alaikum.